Conspiracy theories are the wave these days. The flat earth conspiracy, the moon landing being fake, aliens building the pyramids. Although that's not fake. The aliens, I'm convinced they actually did build them. Anyway, according to former MLB player Dee Gordon, Major League Baseball did something crazy 10 years ago. So crazy that I cannot believe it's not getting as much attention, which also makes it seem like it's BS. It's also strange that 57% of you aren't subscribed yet, so if you enjoy the videos, consider hitting that button if you haven't yet, as we'll get right into it. So Dee Gordon, who had an 11-year career in the league, recently went on a podcast called The Raw Room, and they had a very interesting conversation on a number of different things, but there's a part where Dee addresses when he got suspended for steroids back in 2016. Now, any person with a brain and at least one eye looking at Dee Gordon for 1.3 seconds can make the obvious conclusion that he's not a guy who looks like he is or ever was on any sort of steroids. Some important cliff notes here: he tested positive in spring training, ironically, right after Barry Bonds had just been hired by the Marlins as the new hitting coach, a job that lasted just about as long as Gordon's 2016 season. So he gets suspended for 80 games, and Gordon addresses this. Watch.
Man, I got suspended in 16 for steroids.
Oh, damn.
King. Look at me, King. It look like I took steroids.
Man, ain't no way.
Right,
Okay.
I'm about to say, ain't
165.
Ain't no way. He said 165.
Let me tell y'all, I ain't gonna say no name or nothing, but let me just put it like this. 2015, they told my little black ass, don't win that batting championship. And I said, y'all got me fucked up.
Damn. So you went out there and said, fuck it, I'm gonna go get this little championship, this trophy.
And they said, don't do it.
Damn.
Was it like a money thing for them?
Nah, it was a guy that played on that team. I ain't gonna say his name.
Yeah.
He would have won Triple Crown if I let him win the batting title. The last day of the season, I beat him for the batting title. I went 3 for 4 with a home run.
I'm trying to see
I ain't saying he was on that team though.
King can say it.
I mean, it'll be easy.
If it's what I'm thinking of,
it's
then
Washington 2015.
He won MVP that year.
I think I know
On that team.
Right.
Yeah, on that team.
I ain't gonna name names, but I'll tell you what team he's on and that he won MVP that year. You gonna give me his blood type and IP address while you're at it? I just thought that was, like, what was Gordon's goal here? Like, I'm not gonna name names, but I'll tell you exactly who I'm talking about. Okay, well, it was Bryce Harper, and they even pull him up on the show holding up the MVP trophy. Okay, who's they? Gordon is making an insane accusation here that someone told him to not win the batting title that year, meaning to not have the best batting average in the league so Bryce Harper can, which would have, according to this story, won him the Triple Crown, which is when a hitter leads the league in batting average, home runs, and RBIs, and it's a rarity. The last time it ever happened for a hitter was Miguel Cabrera in 2012, and it's only been done a total of 17 times throughout all of baseball history. But this claim doesn't make sense. He claims that someone called him a week before the season was over and told him to not win the batting title so Bryce Harper can. Bryce Harper finished first in the National League in home runs and was very close to Dee Gordon in batting average. Gordon finished with a .333 batting average, and Harper finished with a .330 batting average. Okay, so it lines up. Harper was on his way to winning the Triple Crown until you look at the RBIs. Harper may have been close to finishing first in both home runs and batting average, but he wasn't remotely close to having the most RBIs in the National League. He finished the season with 99. 5 other National League players finished ahead of him for RBIs, and the guy in first, Nolan Arenado, finished with 130 RBIs. Harper wasn't even in the same planet, even with a week to go in the season. So even if he won the batting title, it wouldn't have mattered in a race for the Triple Crown. Did this mysterious person who told Dee Gordon not to win the batting title not realize that? I mean, for that to, like, that on its own is crazy. For someone in the league to tell Dee Gordon, hey, let another player beat you in something. We talk about betting in today's world and how it can impact sports. This is exactly like in the same world, but then there's this.
So like to hear that shit, you won in a double back and say, all right, well shit, we're gonna suspend your goof ass.
Yeah, my goof ass, and I set my ass down for 80 days. Dang. Bro, that shit was so crazy to hear people call you a cheater, and I'm like, bro, look at me.
Come on, bro.
There's no need for him to take steroids.
There's no need.
What he does doesn't.
That's gonna fuck him up. That's gonna
right. There's no need for steroids, bro.
So let me get this. Wait, sorry. In situations like this, it's always cooler when Morgan Freeman says it.
Let me get this straight.
Someone in Major League Baseball told Dee Gordon to not win the batting title so Bryce Harper can win the Triple Crown Award, even though he had no chance to win regardless because he wasn't close to leading the league in RBIs. And because Gordon didn't listen and competed and did his best and won the batting title, the league turned around and made a fake steroid suspension out of it to punish him?
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. At no point in your rambling, incoherent response were you even close to anything that could be considered a rational thought. Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it. I award you no points, and may God have mercy on your soul.
If that was even remotely true, how has Dee Gordon sat on this information for 10 years? How has he not sued the league? Hey guys, they punished me because I didn't let another player get a personal achievement. That sounds very illegal. Like, that's insane. This is an insane scandal he's just casually accusing the league of 10 years after it happened. That's like the astronomer CEO coming out in 10 years from now and saying that whole Coldplay fiasco was a setup. They had us act together for some reason. That wasn't even the head of HR. That was just some random actor. They told me to act and put the cameras on us to punish me because I was too good at my job.
Bullshit.
Like, no, this makes no sense. It doesn't add up. The fact that Harper wasn't even in the same stratosphere and RBI total on its own invalidates this whole story. Look, I loved Dee Gordon when he played. He was fun to watch, but I have no idea why he would just say this. I mean, he just blatantly did. There's nothing I'm taking out of context. He straight up is making a wild accusation that nobody who actually was a victim of something like this would be this casual about and silent for 10 years about. And logistically, it makes no sense. He also made a claim at another point in the show that MLB teams have their players play all around the field instead of at just one position because it's a way of paying them less money. His argument was that when guys aren't set to one position, they lose their value, which seems like the opposite of the truth for one. If you're a great hitter, you can be a bad defender. A bad defensive hitter just got the biggest contract of all time. That has nothing to do with anything. And as popular as it is to move guys around today, there are still plenty of players just at one position. Like, the Cubs aren't having Kyle Tucker, who's going to be this offseason's biggest, most expensive free agent. They're not having him play shortstop and first base randomly. Like, this doesn't make any sense. He also made a claim that his favorite position was second base because it just was easy to him, and then said the team moved him because he was too comfortable over there. The team didn't want him playing a position he was good and comfortable at. Like, that makes any sense. I guess Dee Gordon's middle name makes a lot of sense now. Again, love the player. Seems like a chill dude. I just really don't get any of this. I mean, these are wild accusations, and they just don't seem to be true at all. Let me know your thoughts, and thank you for watching. Love you. Bye.